And back to our Portland Open press conference. We're here with Thomas Gilbert. Thomas, welcome to Portland.
Thank you, Zoe. I'm so happy to be back here.
And you were actually just in Canada last weekend between OTB and Portland, which is incredible. Tell us where you were and tell us the name of the event.
I was able to travel up to Canada. I started in Calgary, Alberta, and drove over through the Rockies and went over to Kamloops, BC for the Tournament Capital Open, a really nice hosted Canadian A-tier that I really enjoyed playing.
And we want to say congratulations. It feels good to take home an A-tier win.
Definitely.
Give us just a little bit. What did that boost do for you?
It did a lot. I mean, my confidence definitely was uplifted after that tournament win. It was really nice to come up and just be embraced by so many Canadian players and fans. It felt really, really amazing. And my tournament play ended up kind of showing that I averaged 1050 for the event and had a few really hot rounds. So it was really nice to go up there and just kind of ease into my game again.
And instead of focusing on this weekend, I actually want to focus on your international status here and the fact that you did just visit Canada again. Are there requirements for you to, being a DGPT touring player, do you have to check back into Canada in order to stay on the tour? Or how do those limitations work for you?
Yeah, so that definitely affected me a lot a couple of years back. But in the last few years, I've obtained a P1 work visa, which allows me to be in the U.S. full time. And otherwise wouldn't be able to travel the Pro Tour throughout the entire season. I would need to take breaks throughout the season to go back up to Canada before I'm allowed to re-enter. So this work visa definitely makes things easier.
Very cool. And my last question for you before passing it off is, can you tell us about the rest of this year's travel? Is it just right here in the United States, DGPT, or is there other big travel involved?
I have actually some really big travel plans in the next 2 weeks. The week after Beaver State Fling, I'll be flying out to Sweden for the Järva Open, and that will start off a 6-week travel plan in Europe, traveling to 4 different countries, Finland, Estonia, and Norway included. So that's going to be really awesome and really excited to play those events.
Hey, Thomas, Grant Zellner, PDGA. So far in 2022, you've had a couple of finishes outside the top 100. And then last week, you won. What clicked last week that hasn't been clicking before?
Just felt good about my game. My putting definitely was on. I think there was a few terms this year that I had to drop out of, one due to COVID and then the other one due to an injury. So felt really nice, felt healthy, was able to play extremely well and get my confidence up. And I think that helped a lot with my play last weekend.
Other than staying healthy, how else can you keep your game at the level it is right now?
Just trying to keep the practice regimen up. I know that for me, that's really, really key to keeping my game dialed in, is getting as much practice as I can, not only just on the courses, but keeping my stroke tip-top shape, whether that's throwing the drives off the tee or putting the disc into the basket.
And you're coming off a top 10 here in Portland in 2021. You seem comfortable in this kind of environment on this kind of course. Is there a Canada factor to that, or is this the kind of atmosphere that you grew up playing in and you just feel comfortable with gigantic trees and green grass and all of that going for you?
Definitely, yeah. I would say that the style of the course definitely fits my game of being a longer course, but as well the temperature, the climate, it's all very similar to home, so it feels very comfortable.
Hello, Thomas.
What's up, Brian?
A couple of questions for you here. What is stopping you from taking down a tournament this season? What do you think you have to clean up the most?
I think it's just a little bit of consistency. I know I've had plenty of really hot rounds this year, starting off the lead in a few tournaments, getting on a few different cards, having really strong finishes. But I think it's just putting all 3 rounds together. I can't just have some hot ones at the beginning, middle, or end. I need to put all 3 rounds together. And I think that will become a tournament where I can dominate and take down the big victory.
And we're going to jump quickly back to more of a fun question. You've taken down quite a few distance competitions. Max distance lines are something you're extremely skilled at. How do you feel about your distance this season? I know you said you dealt with an injury earlier on in the season. Do you feel like your distance is better than it's ever been?
Yeah, I feel like I'm really confident in my form. I think it's just kind of hitting those angles with the discs that I have, and as long as I'm kind of feeling comfortable with that angle of release on most of my drives, I think there's no really limit to how far I can try to throw it. I do want to kind of like emphasize the importance of limiting the distance a little bit just to keep the inbounds part of the game in check, because that's really been important a lot on tour this year, and it's kind of helped me to some of my better finishes throughout the season. But yeah, I love ripping shots, and it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend.
How do you feel about your chances of shooting hot out at Blue Lake?
I think it's going to be good. I love the style of the course. Blue Lake has been one of my favorite stops on tour the last couple of years. I really had wished we had come back sooner since 2019, but I know a few things kind of postponed the event, but I'm so glad that we're going to be back out there this season.
Sweet. Well, good luck this week.
All right. Thank you, Brian.